Hello everyone, hi! So today as I'm filming this video, it's the 28th of August 2024, which means that a year ago I started this YouTube channel. I remember it was the end of summer and I was about to start my studies in Vienna, and I uploaded this video to my channel. It's called The 6 Books That Made Me Study Literature. And unexpectedly, kind of overnight, it took off. Thousands of people have seen that video, which I would have never expected. And even though there are a couple of videos on my channel from before that, I really consider that the start of this YouTube journey. It was then that I decided to upload a video every week because I suddenly had an audience and I suddenly had people excited to follow me on this journey through studying, and I've been sharing my love for literature and languages on here ever since. Now that was last year. A year before that even, so on the 28th of August 2022, I did my first literature reading in my living room. I invited my friends and family. Not a lot of them came, but I did a thorough read-through of Goethe's Faust, because the 28th of August is also Goethe's birthday. So I was in my living room for the first time trying what it would feel like to share my passion for literature with other people. And yeah, just in my mind, now that I connect the dots back, that was a really pivotal moment for me. So needless to say, today is a very special day for me. And I thought it would be fitting to sit down and just take a look back over this last year here on YouTube and see whether I actually want to continue this, how it has been going, some things that I've learned. So that's what I'm going to do today. We'll also look at some stats. I hope this can be a valuable look behind the scenes of a YouTube channel, how much money a channel like that can generate. So yeah, this really feels like the end of season 1, beginning of season 2 in some way. I mean, I've even cut my hair. I'm moving to Paris next week. I got a new camera and new gear, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And on top of that, this might be the last video that I'm shooting with this background in this location. Can you believe it? Maybe there'll be one more before I go to Paris, but I feel like this time of intense change is upon me, upon us, upon here. But anyway, so this is just gonna be a bit of a chatty video. I do have some notes, but I'm mostly gonna just, harangue. So let's get into it. So as I already said, when I started this channel, I pretty quickly made an agreement with myself to upload one video every week, no matter what, for a year. And then I was going to check in with myself and see how it has been going. I just felt like I needed enough data to see how I actually feel about this whole YouTube thing. And one video a week was doable for me. So every Sunday morning, no matter what, there was going to be a video going up. So I knew that just time-wise it would fit into my schedule. But I also needed this sort of hard rule or challenge because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to the things that I put on the internet that I knew if I was only gonna upload when I'm feeling it or when I feel 100% happy with something, this is gonna go nowhere. It went against every fiber of my being to put out these videos every week that I was rarely satisfied with. There was always something off. I felt like I was speaking in a weird way. The light was off, the angles were off, there was always something. It hurts me. In a way it hurts me that those videos are up and they're imperfect, but I also knew I just have to get through that because that's how I'm gonna learn, to put something up because that's the best I can do and just forget about it and move on. There's this video, I think, by Frank James. It's called INFJ Perfectionist Paralysis. It describes pretty well how I have lived my creative life or haven't lived my creative life for most of my 20s, right? I would get so overwhelmed by thinking about things that I would never get around to actually taking the first step. So what I've done over the past year is very unlike me, that's what I'm trying to say. And it has been cathartic in a way to do something that goes against my natural inclinations and to kind of face my biggest downfall. This perfectionism in so many areas of my life is really my end boss, my biggest enemy. I think the most challenging time when it comes to uploading every week was when I went through a breakup. In the beginning of 2024, me and my boyfriend of over 3 years broke up. So, naturally I was pretty devastated and spent a lot of time crying in bed, definitely not feeling like sitting in front of a camera. I tried to be kind to myself, so I wasn't gonna force myself to upload every week if I really didn't feel like it. So, I don't wanna glorify hustle culture in any way. I'm a big fan of resting and taking the time you need if you can. So don't misinterpret what I'm saying. But even through this hard time, to have something that is so consistent and that I just have to do every week, it structured my life in a way, and more than that, it gave me something to work on that was just mine. This YouTube channel never had anything to do with him. It's my baby in a way. I do everything myself, the filming and the editing and the scripting and everything around it is entirely my own process, and it's my creative outlet, and I can do whatever I want on this channel, and it has always been independent of him. So making these videos in a way was me holding my own hand through the process and being like, girl, you can do this. You're so strong. You're in a difficult spot right now, but you can do what you love. So I'm happy I've done it. Now, looking forward, am I gonna continue to put out a video every week? I want to, but I'm gonna stop being so extremely strict with myself. I really wanted to complete this year just to prove to myself that I can do it. But as I see it now, my studies are still my priority. And if some week I can't make a video, then I just can't make a video. And especially now that I'm moving to Paris and I'm gonna study in a different language, in a city I don't know. I have no idea what all of that's gonna be like. If I'm gonna have to choose between my studies and uploading a video, I'm gonna choose for my studies. I sometimes talk about this with my friends, and then they say, why don't you make a couple of backup videos, that you can put up during a stressful week? And I've tried that, I've done that. However, I just don't like putting out a video that isn't fresh, because usually the video I'm uploading is something that I'm thinking about at the moment, and it feels good to structure my thoughts around it, put it out, and immediately be able to communicate it and get some feedback. If I now upload something that I've thought about a month ago, I'm somehow not interested in it anymore. It doesn't feel timely in a way. I don't know. I never felt good about uploading a video that is old or something. Maybe I'll refine my process in the future, but that's how I feel about it right now, and that's why I'm not pre-filming anything. So next I want to talk about some things that I'm proud of. I'm really content with the way I developed my speaking. I feel like I'm slowly, but faster than I thought, getting better at structuring my sentences and my thoughts in a coherent way and delivering that in a way that is hopefully comprehensible to you as well. I no longer feel like I start every sentence in the same way, and that skill is something that I'm quite excited about deepening. I think the videos that I'm most proud of are my Borges videos, the 2 I did. I just feel like a Borges short story is right up my alley. It combines everything that I love and stand for. It's the perfect intersection of language, philosophy, literature, and a lot of thought went into scripting those videos. I'm very happy with those. I also weirdly really like the video I did on the advice of starting a book YouTube channel. I think it's the same story there, where I'm just so happy with it because I had this very elaborate script. I've really thought about this topic for weeks and added notes as I went. I just feel like I put a lot of care into that video, so that always feels good. Now, one thing I really did not expect was the amount of incredibly kind comments that I keep getting under my videos. I wish I would have screenshotted some. I've had so many moments where I was deeply touched by something that people have said, that I've opened a door in them to appreciating literature again, that I've made them pick up Proust, which those are my favorite comments. Someone said they've read Swan's Way on my recommendation, and now for the first time ever they're rereading a book because it's so good. You know, that's absolutely beautiful. I just overall feel like the kindest people are watching my videos. It's incredibly touching. I know it's a weird parasocial relationship, like we don't actually know each other, but it's beautiful to know that there are so many tender-hearted, deep-thinking people out there that appreciate this content and take the time to leave their thoughts. Even if I can't answer them all anymore, I appreciate every single one of them. And it's so weird because I've heard YouTubers say that before, and you always think like, yeah, blah, blah. But now that I'm on the other side of this, it's really true. It keeps me going in a way that I don't know I would if all these people watching and cheering me on wouldn't be there. I feel like hundreds of people cheered me through my first year of studying literature, and that's just priceless. It's such a special experience. I feel extremely privileged to be able to have this platform and to do what I'm doing. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what to say. Like, sometimes when I have a bad day, I read some of the kind comments that people have left me. I know you shouldn't do that. Like, don't base your self-worth off people on the internet, but you know, it is what it is. Now, another thing I didn't expect was how lovely it is to have a small YouTube channel. There was this period of like 6 months when I've had, I think, 8,900 subscribers or something like that, and that number just didn't really go up. And it's easy to get frustrated because if you're putting out videos, you're hoping for growth in some way. But now looking back, I realized that that time was so precious because I really felt like the people who watched my videos, it was like a small community, you know. It was a little corner of the internet that not a lot of people knew, and everyone was so kind. Whereas now that more people are coming to this channel, I get a lot more weird comments, just people being rude or careless. And you know, I mean, I still absolutely appreciate everyone who is watching these videos. I'm just saying, if you have a small YouTube channel, cherish it. You know, it's your community is probably never going to be this small again, and there's something very special about feeling so intimate, about being able to answer every comment, about recognizing people's faces. It's lovely. Oh my god, I've just been sitting here for 40 minutes and it hasn't been recording. I filmed until the end of this video and then I saw that the SD card is full, because the files are so large, because the previous owner of this camera had the quality of the video cranked up super high. So it has been filming in 4K. That makes the files super large, and my 64 gigabyte SD card was full after just half an hour. So those files are going to be extremely large, and now it's getting dark, so I guess the rest of this video might just be a little bit different tonally than the beginning, which seems to be the story of my channel, but you know, let's keep going. Let's talk about all this again. I think I was about to go into the stats of my channel, and I really want to show you that because I want to demystify this whole YouTube thing a little bit. So as of today, August 28th, 2024, I've made 53 videos. I have a total of 25,200 subscribers. There are just over 600,000 views on all of my videos and almost 50,000 hours of watch time. And that has made me, since the monetization of the channel in September or October 2023, a total of about $1,469. Now you can see that there are two kind of huge spikes when my subscriber and view count went up quite dramatically. The first one was in September or so of last year with that first video, and then I've had a long period of just having the same amount of subscribers for like 6 months or something. It was like 8,700 or something for 6 months straight. And then with the last video that did really well about everything interesting I learned in my first year of studying literature, there came like the second huge spike, and my subscriber count went up to basically what it is now. Now I'll explain the money side of things a little bit because I think it's important. So basically the number that you see here, those almost $1,500, they're AdSense revenue. So YouTube puts ads on my videos. So before you watch my videos or during the videos, there are ads rolling, and I get a little bit of money for when people watch these ads. Precisely, I get between $2 and $3 for every 1,000 clicks, which is actually quite little. I would say most other YouTubers I have ever watched talking about this have made more than that. So, you know, talking about books and philosophy is not a very lucrative business here in YouTube. And you just cannot apply this number to anyone else. So please don't extrapolate that out. It doesn't mean that other YouTubers of a similar subscriber count or with similar views make that money. You know, I have no idea. It really varies from video to video. But just as an example, I have my most watched videos up here. So everything interesting I learned in my first year of studying literature. I think that video has about 170 or 180,000 views, and it has made me a total of $333. Now, that is great, you know, don't get me wrong, like I'm incredibly thrilled that I'm making money with this at all, but this amount of money is a far cry from ever making a living off YouTube alone. You know, that is why most YouTubers have sponsors or other sources of income, because if I would want to make anything close to a living from this, I would have to upload a successful video like this like 8 times a month or something in order to be able to live off the ad revenue. And for me, putting money aside for taxes and then also reinvesting into equipment for the channel, I'm not at a point yet where I'm really paying myself out a salary. So I'll quickly talk about the equipment that I got. So I got 3 new things yesterday, actually. So I crunched all the numbers and I put some aside for taxes, and I thought, okay, with the rest of it, I really want to invest in some new equipment. Like this old mic has really been getting on my nerves, and I got this new mic that you're hearing right now. It's a Comica Boom XD Pro D2. There are a couple of lavalier mics in here. It's supposed to be really good quality. I really like it so far. And I'm just so happy that I don't have to bring my bulky, huge old mic with me when I go to Paris. I also got a really good tripod that arrived today. It's the Vanguard Ultra Pro 26 3AB 100. So very excited to have an actual tripod with my old one that I got secondhand. Literally the third leg was constantly falling off, so it was completely defeating the point of a tripod, because it was like a two-pod for most of its life. And then secondhand, yesterday I got a new camera. So this camera that I'm filming on right now is my dream camera. I've wanted it for like 6 years, and it's the Panasonic GH5. So this camera finally has a flip screen, so I see myself. It can film for longer than 20 minutes, which makes it so much easier for me to film longer videos. And it also has a mic input, so you know what you're hearing right now should be perfectly synchronized audio and video, and I don't have to do all that in post-production anymore. So, you know, while these new purchases might not make a huge difference for you as the viewer, for me, it really takes a load off my shoulders, because I've been doing so much unnecessary work. And if you know, you're a regular viewer of this channel, if you've been liking my videos or commenting, you're directly responsible for me being able to buy these things. So thank you so much, you know, I truly appreciate you. And most of all, I want to thank all the people that have supported me on Ko-fi. I've made a Ko-fi account a couple of months ago, and that has been another small stream of income for this channel. You know, if you buy me a Ko-fi, you're basically pledging me €5, and most of that money makes it directly onto my bank account. As of today, I've had a total of 78 Ko-fi pledges, which makes almost $400. So, you know, again, if you're supported me on Ko-fi, I'm endlessly grateful to you. I've once calculated that in order for me to make $1 on YouTube, someone would have to watch 500 of my videos front to back with all the ads, and then I would get $1. So if you have bought me even just one Ko-fi in your lifetime, you're doing the most, and I appreciate you, and you're directly contributing to the continuation of this channel. And I know it sounds corny and cheesy, and every YouTuber says that, but it does mean the world to me that I have actual physical people, not corporations, actual people who are appreciating this content and who are helping me out to support myself through making these videos. So, you know, thank you for that. A little bit about my work process at the moment. You know, I have a list of like over 100 video ideas or something, so the problem is never that I find a video to make. It's more how much time I have to script it and how much time I can put into reading and researching and making my mind up about things. These days, how I do it is that I usually spend 2 half days a week scripting. So usually 2 entire mornings I just dedicate to writing my script, whatever that is. And then I'll spend another half day filming and another half day or so editing and uploading the video. So that makes a total of 2 days a week that I'm working on all this. Might be a little bit more with answering comments and emails and things like that. It's rough for me to estimate. It's also not always the same, but that's about it. I think there would definitely be smarter ways to do this, you know, have someone else edit my videos or be a little bit more strategic about scripting. But I honestly really like the process that I've gotten into lately, so I'm just gonna leave it at that as long as I can. I have a couple more stats before we get into the goals for the next year. There are 57 people who have reached out to me via email. That's incredible. So, you know, I've really enjoyed reading from you, and I always answer, even if it sometimes takes me some time to get back to you. You know, thank you for your patience. I have done one meetup in Vienna. I'm not posting a photo or anything about that because I'm not sure those people would want to have their face on the internet. You know, I didn't ask them. I have a reminder, a photo for myself. There were, I think, about 15 people there, and it was super lovely to get to know some of you in real life. And then the total amount of subscribers who have recognized me on the street are 0. I've never had anyone come up to me and recognize me from my videos. I think that's reasonable. You know, my channel is pretty small compared to the population of the world, and I think just less than 1% of my viewers are actually from Austria, so chances are very slim, you know, that I'm coming across someone who watches my videos. But if you ever see me, come say hi, you know, I don't bite. And to round this video off, I want to get into my goals for the next year. I think I've touched on some of them already, but basically I just want to keep going as I do and crank up the quality of my videos. You know, the new equipment is a big step in that direction, but I just want to make the visual and auditive experience of watching my videos really pleasurable. I want my videos to be crisp, and a part of that is also going to be that I want to get into a new editing software that allows me a lot more creative freedom than iMovie. I'm still editing my videos with iMovie, which I've felt the limitations of many times. I want to keep making long videos about literature and philosophy, like talking head style as I'm doing now, and I also want to keep doing vlogs. You know, for a long time I somehow thought that I have to choose one of the two, that I'm in a process of figuring out which direction I'm gonna go. And honestly, I love both of these formats. I just love filming and cinematography too much as to just do those talking head videos. And also my brain has like a limited capacity of how much information it can process and how much I can think about things for those sit-down videos, you know. I cannot do that absolutely every week. But then the sit-down videos, they're incredibly intellectually stimulating for me, and I enjoy them so much, and I don't want this channel to just become a lifestyle channel. I also don't want to film myself every day. I now do a vlog style video about once a month, and that's like perfectly fine for me. They're also lovely memories for myself. I'm definitely gonna vlog my move to Paris, and yeah, I'm happy with that balance, and I'm happy that I've found out that I don't want to choose between the two. The next goal I've also already touched on. I want to be able by this time next year to make a few €100 on the side that I can consider my wage, that can go towards my expenses. And then I want to try out a book club, but on YouTube. So I'm not entirely sure which book to start with yet, but I'm really excited to give it a try, see what it's like when a lot of people read a book at the same time, and how I can engage with the viewers in a way that makes it fun and that makes it actually seem like a book club, even though it's a little bit of a one-directional situation. But I think I have some ways around that, so you know, stay tuned. And then for the last goal, I've just written down that I would love to make a course one day, but I know with how my life is right now and with studying, I cannot put any pressure on myself to do that anytime soon. You know, I'll see if I have a few weeks or months to structure a course. I would love to be that person that, you know, makes that information more accessible to people who maybe don't study literature or don't want to, and reading is just a hobby for them. You know, I get very excited at the thought of making a course. I just, no promises yet on when that is gonna happen. So to round this video off, I asked myself what kind of impact I actually want my videos to make on other people. And the answer that came to me was pretty clear. I really want this content to inspire you to think independently. Thinking for yourself is really such a high value of mine, and it's ultimately why I read. You know, to me, books are mostly a means to an end to deepen my thinking around certain topics, because I think critical thinking and independence of thought, like that self-reliance that Ralph Waldo Emerson talks about, is just the basis of a really well considered and crafted life. And I have spent so much of my life, most of my 20s, not really trusting myself. You know, when I saw other people boldly put their opinion forward, I used to be so intimidated, and I used to think that the way I process information is somehow inferior, and that I'm just a silly little girl that doesn't know anything. And I've really learned to trust my own thought process over the past years, and I've also cleaned up the information that is even coming to me. You know, I'm staying very far away from social media, and I try to feed my brain with good books. And that's just a pleasure for me, and I hope that if there's anything you're taking away from these videos, it is a sense that you can be yourself, that, you know, the way you see things, the way you process things, and what you feel is valid and has a place in the world. Yeah, I feel like I got a little bit off track here, but that, you know, if that is in any way what is coming across in these videos, then I'm so happy and I can sleep well at night, and I will keep making these videos. So yeah, I'm excited to have this little space here, my corner on the internet. So that being said, if there are any kinds of videos that you would like to see from me, I'm really open to suggestions. Tell me about it. You can send me an email, you can write it in the comments. What do you enjoy? What interests you? Where do you think this channel shines? What would you like to see? You know, let me know. And I think that is everything that I have to say for this video. Thank you so much for sitting with me through the light changes, through the quality changes. It's always a challenge to figure out new gear. We'll get there, we'll get there, we'll get there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm just gonna end by saying, if you have in any way been part of this journey, if you've left me comments, you've been watching those videos silently, whatever it is that you did in the past year here on this channel, I appreciate you. It's lovely to feel like we're going through this together, and I cannot wait to see where this all is going. As I said, I'm leaving for Paris next week, so this is gonna be an entirely new chapter also in this channel. Yeah, so thank you from the bottom of my heart. You all are so lovely. Okay, I think I've said it often enough. Thank you for being here. I'll see you again in the next video. I love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and bye-bye.